Miss Davis.
Okay.
Have you ever considered an intercom system? It would be a lot more dignified than yelling through the doors.
Can I get you something to drink?
Thank you, that would be nice. Just water, please.
So? What'd you need to see me about?
So I assume you got your court order.
It came yesterday.
Good. So you know that Carly has 24 hours to report for DNA testing. So do you.
Just tell me when and where. I'm there.
They're gonna call me sometime this afternoon at General Hospital. They'll call me with an exact time.
Okay, what happens after the tests come back?
We're gonna petition the court to list you as father. That's the easy part. Sonny custody is gonna be a lot more difficult. Because if Carly chooses to remain married to AJ, it could come down to a hearing to determine which environment is best for the child. So let me ask you, if you were the judge, where would you place your child? With the Quartermains or with you? Now, that's a legal position, not a moral one. But the law is going to be sympathetic to the wrong party, and in this case, that's AJ. Now, as long as he's willing to act as father, the burden is on you to prove that he and Carly are unfit.
AJ's a drunk who slammed his brother's head into a tree. Carly shot somebody in open court. How much more do I gotta prove?
How did your wife die, Mr. Corinthos? She was pregnant at the time, wasn't she? And wasn't your residence the target of machine gun fire?
My last residence, my current residence, has bulletproof glass.
Wrong answer. You don't want to tell a judge how you're going to protect your child. You want to tell the judge how your child will never, ever be in any danger.
Is there any point to this?
The point is, this is going to be a long and a very hard fight. The Quartermains are going to bring up everything that you have ever done. Are you prepared for that?
Well, you keep talking about, you keep talking about my rights and AJ's. What about the kids? I mean, he didn't ask to be born. I mean, I helped create him. Can't I give him something, a chance to grow up in a life without fear? Quartermains they don't want my child. They only want to protect Michael. And who knows how long they're going to hold on to Carly or where she'll go next. What if she meets up with some guy who doesn't like my kid? Boy. My child will not be trapped, will not be alone, with no way to defend himself or to have to take what some bastard does to him. This baby is gonna be safe and is gonna be loved, no matter what I have to do.
Were you ever physically abused as a child?
How long before I can file for custody? Do I have to wait till after the baby's born or whatever?
You didn't answer my question.
This isn't about me. It's about the kid.
This is very much about you. It goes to your fitness as a parent.
I own my own business. I pay taxes. The worst crime I've ever pled to was a misdemeanor. So what's a big deal?
Statistics show that if you were abused as a child, there's a high percentage you could grow up to become an abuser. Now, if the Quartermains can prove that...
Prove what? That I was hit? Do you really think that means that I would hit my own kid? That I would raise my hands to a small little boy and actually hit him? I would die first.
And I believe you. But if you have an outburst like that in front of a judge, you will lose all hope of seeing your child, let alone raising him. I'm trying to help you, Sonny. So you're gonna have to tell me what happened because I need to formulate a strategy to deal with it.
When I was 8, my mother married a cop, Deke Woods, Sergeant Timothy Deacon Woods. 4 months into the marriage, he hit both of us, and then it went on and on.
You saw your mother being abused?
He slapped her a lot. Sometimes he'd grab her by the arm and he'd throw her down or against something. Me, he'd hit. With a belt buckle, usually. He'd lock me in a closet first, and he'd go and get good and drunk, and then, I'd hear his footsteps walking down the hall. He'd open the door, The rule was I couldn't raise my hands. I had to stay there and take it. And if I ran, it made it worse.
How long did this go on for?
Till I left. Actually, no, till I fought back. I nearly killed him.
How old were you?
16.
8 years.
Does it work against me that it went on so long?
Alive?
Deke was shot in an alley 3 years after I left.
How about your mother?
She's dead, too. A couple years after Deke. But you know what? It's over. It doesn't matter.
Has the abuse ever been documented by social workers, teachers, anything like that?
Deke was a cop. The neighbors, they didn't call anybody, and I don't think my teachers knew. Because if I was hurting too bad, I'd just cut gym class.
No documentation is a good thing. Are there any witnesses that the Quartermains could call? Did you tell anyone else about this?
Luke Spencer, but even if they could find him, I don't think, he's going to say anything. My father knows a little bit, but he's not going to help the Quartermains. The only one who might is Taggart.
Lieutenant Taggart knows about this?
Yeah, he was Deke's protege. He blames me for Deke's death one night. We got into it, and he went on and on about what an honorable and upright man Deke was. And I said, you know what? He's a wife-beaten cop. But I don't think he believed me anyway. Who would ask Taggart about my childhood?
Any good attorney that does their homework, and you better believe that the Quartermains are going to hire the best. And if they can use Taggart to establish your history of abuse, they can question you about it.
Oh. You know what? I just said it never happened.
Perjure yourself and you lose your child.
Are you going to tell me that Deke's going to cost me my kid because I couldn't stop him? I couldn't get my mother and me away? I'm not going to be able to raise my own child?
It's possible that the Quartermain attorney will overlook Taggart. I don't know. Maybe it's possible. It's possible I could exclude him as a witness. He does have a history of harassing you. But if you are asked about your abuse, you answer it truthfully. A lie will blow the case.
I understand.
There are other factors. You are known to have a violent temper.
I've been in a few fights.
Recently?
Well, last summer I threw this FBI agent through a window.
Oh, for heaven's
Well, I mean,
sake.
you asked me. What do you want me to do?
If it could get any worse, you contest to a misdemeanor count of endangering a minor. You employed one Karen Wexler as a stripper in your club when she was underage.
Yeah, I did.
So if she were called to testify, what could she share with the court?
That I slept with her, but only after she was 18, and that I did give her access to prescription medication, but that...
Are you beginning to see the problem here? You are a career criminal. You have contributed to the delinquency of minors. There is a cop that can testify that you were abused as a child.
The only thing I know and care about is that I will take care of this child, and I will not be forced out of its life.
Here's what I'm going to suggest. I think it's going to be a lot easier for you if you try to strike up a compromise with Carly. If she will give you contact with the child, then I think it's a good thing for you, and I think you should...
Shh. Hello? What? All right, I'll take care of it. Ready to go to work?
Ugh, is the Quartermain started up already?
Your other line of work.
Hey, I told you that I will defend you. I am not defending all the thugs that you employ.
This guy is a coffee bagger at my warehouse.
The last coffee bagger that I defended was a demolition expert that defused a bomb on New Year's Eve.
Well, you know what? That's great, because you know him, Roy DeLuca. He'll be reassured to see you.
I'm charging you double for this because my fee as a defense attorney is entirely separate for the time that I spend on your custody case.
You're the greatest.